Well, big developments now on the story we brought to you about a cold-blooded cop killer being hailed as a hero in New Jersey. Those developments concern a local news reporter assigned to cover this story, who shared comments that wound up touching off a national controversy. That reporter is here with me live on this set, but first, Trace Gallagher with how this all unfolded. Trace?
Megyn, former News 12 New Jersey reporter Sean Bergin says he has spent a lot of time in New Jersey housing projects, always for the same reason: black men slaughtering each other in the streets. This weekend, he covered the case of Melvin Santiago, a rookie Jersey City police officer gunned down as he responded to a bank robbery call. Santiago was ambushed by 27-year-old Lawrence Campbell. Campbell was killed when police returned fire. Sean Bergin then interviewed Campbell's wife, who said that her husband didn't go far enough, that he should have killed more police officers. Later, that same anti-police sentiment was further highlighted when residents paid tribute to the cop killer by putting up a memorial. After giving his report on the shooting, Sean Bergin added some surprising commentary dealing with the anti-cop mentality. Listen.
This same sick, perverse line of thinking is evident from Jersey City to Newark and Patterson to Trenton. It has made the police officer's job impossible, and it has got to stop. The underlying cause for all of this, of course, young black men growing up without fathers. Unfortunately, no one in the news media has the courage to touch that subject.
Well, Bergin was suspended, then later demoted for breaking the rules and adding opinion to a straight news story. Bergin claims the station offered to let him work 1 day a week on light feature stories for $300. He says it was an offer he had to refuse, so he quit. Now, Bergin admits that his commentary broke the rules, but says he was doing the right thing. Megyn.
Trace, thank you. And joining me now is that former News 12 reporter, Sean Bergin. Sean, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Megyn.
Why did you feel the need to do this?
Before we went on the air, we were besieged with phone calls from local law enforcement who got wind that we were going to go out with an interview with the wife of this cop killer. The fury, the vitriol that I heard from these police officers for 4 straight hours was unlike anything I had ever heard before. Now, I did mention to my producers that I thought maybe it was a bad idea that we run this. I'm not sure we need to do it. And I said, I'll do the story once station management says go ahead and do it. And they said, yes, you run that sound. It was exclusive sound.
Cops were not happy about it.
Not happy about it.
And so you were trying to add context?
I was trying to add some context and balance, and yes, and look, there's no doubt that I went off the reservation. I made a couple of rogue remarks at the end. I knew what I was doing.
The question I have for you is, did you expect the results? Because we've seen, I mean, it's not all that unusual to have even, very well-known anchors go on these Sunday shows and offer their opinions. They do it all the time. I mean, Judy Woodruff does it, and Jake Tapper has done it, and Andrea Mitchell. I mean, all sorts of news anchors and reporters go on the Sunday talk shows and offer analysis and occasionally opinion. You did it here in a way that really was rejected. What do you think the difference is?
I'm not sure what the difference is. I knew there would be some consequences. I knew there would be some ramifications. I thought maybe I'd get a reprimand, maybe a temporary suspension.
Why was it worth it to you?
Because this has got to stop. Somebody has to have the guts to stand up and point at this and say, hey, man, we got to start talking about this. I know it's a touchy subject. I know it's a sensitive issue. Especially
for a white man to raise.
Well, yeah, there's that too. But, there's shame involved here. No one wants to be known as the man who abandons his children. And so it's understandable that people would want to kind of walk past this and, not really look at it.
Mm-hmm. Raising awareness of fatherless homes, right? And according to the latest stats, we have 24 million children in America. That's 1 out of every 3 live in biological father-absent homes. It's over 17 million children who live with their mothers in fathers' homes, at least. That's well known, right? But what got a little dicey was connecting that to disdain for the police. And the National Association of Black Journalists president came out today and challenged that connection, saying you can't connect young black men growing up without fathers and anti-police sentiments.
I think you could certainly draw a connection between fatherless young men and this feeling of anti-authoritarianism and an utter disrespect for authority in all its forms, whether it's the police or otherwise.
What kind of message do you think it sends now that you were demoted and effectively booted for your comments, and now, I mean, you can't take a job, they offered you $300 a week, and nobody can support themselves on that. What kind of message does it send?
Don't speak out. Just stay silent. It's safer that way. You'll keep your job.
Is that your plan?
To what?
In your next job?
I don't know. I don't know about my next job. That remains a very open question at this hour, Megyn. Yeah.
What did the management say to you? Do you feel like this was a sort of an ideological, termination or demotion?
They said that I broke company policy, and that's it. And so for that reason, you know, they said it was a very egregious, you know, infraction. And
but do you think that if you had been making a commentary, let's say, on laws that ban gay marriage and how antiquated they are and how people need to get into the 21st century, they would have suspended you or demoted you?
That's, you know, that's a good question, and I think that's a question for my news director for him to answer. I really, you know, I don't know what his thought process is. I know that he has made some questionable moves in the past, you know, so I don't know. I can't really get inside his head.
Stand by.